Mara Pereira, welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
So Mara, you were a Microsoft Cloud Solutions architect
Yes.
that worked with Fortune 500 companies.
Yes.
Then you quit and bought a one-way ticket to Bangkok.
hmm
What part of you had to die for that to make sense?
I think the part of me that wants stability, and also the part of me that would listen to what everyone else would say, like success looked like. I think those were the most important things, because you probably heard this before. Like, I don't know, when I was growing up, success is like you go to school and then you go to university, you have like, you do your degree and then you go and find like a job, and then you climb the corporate ladder and you have a white picket fence and a dog, and that was always the definition of success that I was told. So going against that, I think it was the biggest part of me that had to die, because I was going against everything that I was told, basically. Yeah.
That's a lot of unlearning.
Yeah. It is. It's not. I mean, for me, I think I'm kind of the way my brain works. Even though, again, it was hard to like give up on the stability and going that path. I think my brain is kind of a little bit different, I would say, and it was hard to make. The thing is, it was hard to make the decision. But once the decision was made, it's like there is a switch, and you're like, it's done. Like, okay. I didn't think about it anymore. Like, I look at it like this. Like, I go I'm walking this road, and if I decide to go this way, I stop thinking, what happens if what would happen if I stayed in that road? I don't care, because my road is this one now. So I just keep walking and see what happens, basically.
How long were you sitting on the fence looking at the two different options, or standing at the crossroads? And what actually made you decide to make the jump?
Okay, so let me go back a little bit in time. So when I got that job at Microsoft, I thought, again, because that was the definition of success that I was told, and my background is not even in tech, so I never thought I would get that job in the first place. And if I would ever get that job, it would take absolutely forever. I didn't think it was going to happen that fast. And then when it happened, I was so surprised, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this actually happened to me. Yes. And I thought that was it. Like, I never planned past that. That was the goal. That was the finish line for me. So when I got into the job, I was like, okay, this is amazing. Yes, exciting. Like, I finally got into like big tech. But then after like a few months, I don't know, I try to explain it like this. It's not that the job was bad in a sense. It's like I had expectations, right? You have a scale of expectations. From 0 to 10, my expectations were 15. Okay. The problem was not that the job was not like probably a solid 8. The problem was my expectations were so incredibly high. I thought I was going, I don't know, to Mars on a rocket.
What were you expecting specifically?
I was expecting to feel different. I was expecting to have more impact, and I was expecting it not to feel like just another job.
A cog in a machine.
Yeah, it was like the best job I had, like corporate job. But it was still a job. You get what I mean? Like, you still, like, it's 9 to 5, and then you're supposed to do this and that, and you have like the whatever weekly stand-ups, and in the end, if you squeeze it, it's the same. It's just a better brand behind it. Yeah, more money, better brand, and so on and so forth. And for a lot of people, probably that's enough. But for me, I was like, that is not exactly what I was expecting. But I know that what I was expecting probably doesn't exist. Like, I think I was expecting something that, like, so out of this world. My expectations were so high. Now that I look back, I think probably would never happen in any job, because in the end, again, it's all a job. So I'm kind of happy that I was so like, okay, this is not exactly what I wanted. And because that made me take the decision of like, okay, if this is not it, what am I supposed to do? Like, this was, again, the finish line. There is nothing after this. Like, I remember I felt really lost because, again, it's like you have like, you work all your life for this thing and then you get there. It's not bad, but it's not exactly what you were expecting. But it was the finish line for in my brain, in my career. Like, that was the finish line. Yeah, you can go to director, I don't know, manager, but the company was the finish line for me. And I didn't know what to do next because I was like, what? I go to Google or whatever, like, I don't know, SpaceX. It will be the same thing. I'm a cog in the machine. It's the same shit. It won't change, really. And then I was like, okay. So I kind of realized what I want is not a job because a job will not give me what I want. So that's when I took the decision. I don't know exactly how long this took, but it took a few months.
Months.
Yeah, but not that many.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, 3 to 6 max. I don't last very long in a situation that I'm like, it's not this.
Your intuition is
sharp. I cannot just keep battling like the thing, like knowing that I feel deep down that it's not really what I want.
What did you want?
That was the thing. I didn't know. I didn't know. And I remember like taking a notebook when I was still living in London. It was probably raining as usual. And I took a notepad to write. And I was like, okay, things that I like doing, or like, what would I do if I don't have a job? Like, and then I remember like writing my skills down and I don't know, things like that, and things that I would like to learn. And also like how would my life look like? That was the important part. More than what do you want to do? I was like, okay, but how does my life look like in an ideal scenario? And and I wrote things like this. I can do whatever I want when I want. I can travel to wherever I want. No one is telling me what to do. If I don't like doing something, I don't have to like ask the manager to, do a different project, and then it takes 3 months, and then he says, oh, but you have to do this because it's urgent. And no, I don't want any of that. I want to do whatever I want and work from wherever I want, like, work for 3 months, and then 3 months I do nothing if I want to. And I kind of mapped both things. I was like, okay, how can I make this happen? So I have the skills. Yeah. This is what my ideal life would look like. What's the thing that gives me this? And I was like, it's not a job. Job will never give me like the financial freedom, like time freedom, creative freedom, location freedom. Location maybe sometimes you can get remote jobs, but the creative freedom is never. A job will never give you the creative freedom that I wanted at the time. So for me, like, I just looked at everything and I was like, okay, what is this thing that I'm looking for? And I was like, I have to do my own thing. It's the only way. Like, I cannot depend on someone telling me what to do or guiding me, not so much, but telling me what to do, basically. And that's when I realized I just have to work for myself. I have to build my own thing if I want this kind of freedom that I just wrote here in this piece of paper. And I remember, like, I thought about it, like, a lot. Like, again, a lot, 3 months. And then I read a book. You know the Fastlane Millionaire?
Actually don't.
No. It's not an amazing book, to be honest.
Okay.
But it was amazing for the purpose that, like, at the time. It has this concept that is, you have like the sidewalk, you have the slow lane, and you have the fast lane. And then the concept is like, you have the sidewalk is the people that are very like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm cool. Like, if you sit them in a chair, this is what we say in Portuguese, if you sit them in a chair, they will just stay there forever until you tell them to move. Yeah. Like, it's that kind of person. And then you have the slow lane. That is the people that like might have like a nicer like job, maybe a 6-figure job. That's what I had when I was in London. And it looks like you're making it. On paper.
From the outside.
Yes. Yeah. On paper, it looks like you're making it. And then you have the fast lane, which is like the people that actually build businesses and create things, you know. And I was like, I remember reading the book and I was like, oh my God, I thought I was in the fast lane and I'm in the slow lane. No, I can't do this. No, I want to be in the fast lane. I don't want to be in the slow lane.
Quick.
Yeah. And I remember after reading that book, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, I cannot live in the slow lane. I can't. I need to be in the fast lane. And then I think it took me like a month to quit. I was like, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Yeah.
I imagine there's so many people, all corners of the globe, that would love to do what you did.
Probably, yeah.
What would you say to someone like that who is in the slow lane?
Yeah.
They know maybe subconsciously or consciously something's off. There's some misalignment here. They know they're made for more, but they don't know how to take that first step. They don't know. The uncertainty of going out and doing something different is just too much, and they're paralyzed.
I would say just start walking. It's just, I think a lot of people are paralyzed, and I do a program now basically teaching people how to create side hustles in tech. And a lot of people are in that situation. So I know what they think. And I think the main blocker is they are afraid of starting. And they are like, you put all these problems that don't even exist yet in your head. Like, oh, but what about the accountant? What about this and that and that? And that can be a problem. And they make problems where they don't exist yet because you didn't even start it. You don't know which problems you're going to face first. I mean, you probably are going to face all those problems that they say at some point. But my experience is they will not show all at the same time. You start walking and then you have this roadblock and you're like, okay, how am I going to solve this? And then you solve it and then you walk a little bit further. And then there is another roadblock and you're like, okay, another one. How do I solve this? And then you solve it. The problem is people see all the roadblocks and they think they are going to be crammed in the same place and it's going to be a nightmare. No. It's like you figure it out along the way. It's fine. And another thing that I also say is for people to start moving, the pain of staying the same needs to be higher than the pain of moving and failing and facing all those roadblocks and not knowing how to deal with it. And I feel like most people, that's not the case. And that is the problem. For me, again, I was thinking about that damn book for a month. I was like, the pain of seeing myself in the slow lane was so big that I was like, I can't. People need to get to that point in my head.
100%.
They need to get to the point where they're like, I can't walk this road anymore. I can't do it. Until that moment happens, usually people don't move. Or they don't move in the scale that they need to actually build something worthwhile. You know what I mean? That's my experience. Yeah.
It's funny how more pain would actually be a better thing for so many people as well.
Yeah.
They have pain, but it's not quite enough to actually take action and get the train moving.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, like you said, they talk to me and they're like, oh my God, you have such a dream life. You just travel around and you make all this money and you do what you want. And I'm like, and they're like, oh, I want to do the same as you. And I'm like, just start doing it. But then again, they're like, oh, but I don't know because I have this and that and I have a lot of commitments and things. And for the people where the pain is not big enough, everything will be a problem. Everything. Because it's not their priority. They didn't make it it's not enough of a pain for them to look at it as a priority. And you know what they say, wherever you put your time in, that's your priority. And that's just, they want the idea, they like the idea, but they don't feel the pain enough to actually pursue that in a way. Yeah.
Your headline on LinkedIn. I love this. You're too smart for your salary.
That's what I thought. Always. I was like, I'm too smart for this.
I love it.
Just bragging a little bit, but yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. People going around billing for the hour.
Yeah.
The system telling you what you're worth.
Yeah. I honestly hated it. But when I started, I started like that. And I don't think it's a problem to start like that, honestly. My problem is with people that keep doing that. I think in the beginning, when you don't know what you're doing, which was my case, it's okay to start from the start, which is usually the easiest way is like bill by the hour or by day or whatever. Not just in tech, I think if you do type of like consulting work, I think everyone probably does that or try to do that. And I actually think it's not a bad thing, because it gives you the insights and basically the information that you need to move from that at some point. I wouldn't recommend people to like jump from like full-time job to like create like courses or like big programs, because you don't know the problem that you're trying to solve yet, because you haven't had that like contact with people trying to solve that on a one-on-one kind of scenario. And so I'm against it in a way because people keep doing that and don't move from that. Like they because they don't know how, basically. It's the most like, it's the easiest way to do business, like if you don't know how to get out of that trap, basically.
How so? The easiest way to do business? Do you mean creating a course? Do you mean...
No. I mean the like billing by the hour.
Oh,
or like one to one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't think easy is maybe the best word for it. But yeah, if you're starting, it is easy. Yeah, I would say it is easy, because again, I started like that because I didn't know how to do anything else. And then it got to a point where I was like, but the thing is, I get to all these like little points that I'm going to mention very quickly. I started like doing like this consulting thing, and I was charging by day, I think, at the time. And then after like, I don't know, not even 6 months, I was like, there is no way this is the best way to do it. It can't be, like, because it's not scalable. And I feel it took me very little time to get to that conclusion. And I feel like that's why I'm saying like a lot of people just never get to this, like, must be a better way to do this. And this is like specific for this field that I'm in, which is like the tech world. When you're doing like consulting and projects like to customers, usually everything is very customized, and it's really hard to, how do you get away from that when everything is like new and you're building everything from scratch? Like, how do you get away from billing by like the hour or day? But again, I was not happy. So like, there must be a way. And at the time, what I did was I basically just, for the people, if they are at that stage where they are billing like by the hour or day and they want to move away from that, what I did was I reverse engineered everything I did, like for the customers up to that point. I was like, okay, what is the first thing that I do? And then like in terms of development work, because I was doing like, Power BI reporting basically. And I was like, okay, what do I do from the moment the customer comes to me, or like that I go to them, to the moment I deliver the project? And then I just reverse engineered everything and all the steps that I did, like to make sure that the work was delivered in the quality that I wanted. And then I just created like a process. Okay, so I'm looking at this. This is like, I think I can standardize this. Like if I always do these things, it will speed up everything, like for sure. And then I was like, okay, but what can even be better than this? Like I really wanted to optimize the entire process. And I was like, I looked at all the steps and I was like, can I find a way to optimize this step here? For example, I was doing like in reporting, I was doing report design, which is it's a very specific thing. And when I was looking at the way I was formatting all the visuals and stuff, because my thing was I make reports look pretty. And I was looking at, okay, this is the way I format things and so on and so forth. How can I optimize this? And then I was trying to find ways to come up with like tools or something that would basically automate the entire thing for me. And I came up like with templates and like other stuff like for reporting. And then at the end, I had this entire process that I could either like do myself, but in like 1/10 of the time, or subcontract it to someone and just say, look, here is my process. you just have to follow it. Okay, just follow every step. Here are like everything that you need to do. Just do it. And I was making sure that whatever was delivered was in my like standard of quality.
Yeah. You would do the first 10%, they'd do the 80, and then you check it again at the end.
Yeah. That was it. Yeah. But it was like, I'm saying this and it might sound like I did this in 2 days. No, this is like a trial and error kind of thing. I would like improve this thing, and I was like, it's not perfect. I think I can do better. I can automate this more.
Yeah.
And then, okay, let me look at the steps again. Okay, this one is like really slow. It's either like consuming time or like patience. Sometimes it's not time, it's just patience. Like, how can I improve this and like reduce the time that I'm taking to deliver this thing? And I would just come up with things to either automate it, like create templates, like something that would improve the process and reduce the time that I was delivering it. And then at the end, something that would take me like, I don't know, because I didn't like exactly timed it. But the thing that I came up, and in the end, basically I delivered it in like 2 weeks or something. And for me to do all of that thing that I was delivering from scratch, it would take me like a month at least. So it doesn't look like a big reduction, but in terms of like when you're talking about very customized work, it is, because it's people like don't do this. They just do the, you know, everything from scratch all the time. I think it would probably take more than a month, because I was giving a lot more than just the development work. I mean, the development work would take a month, but every asset that I was delivering, that I was like templates and like assets that I created that were reusable, that would probably take more. I'm not even counting with that. Yeah.
I love that. You wouldn't have learned any of that if you're stuck standing on your 2 feet.
No, never.
It's only because of all the roadblocks. Every roadblock, you learn something new, and then you can take that knowledge, that insight, and apply it and keep iterating as you go forward.
Yeah. But again, I think the secret here was not just kind of removing the roadblock, is like making sure that it never shows up ever again. That was like my idea.
You had to experience the roadblock to then
eliminate the
roadblock.
Exactly. That's why I said like the 101 work is actually like good for that, because otherwise you can, how are you going to reverse engineer a process that you've never done before? Like you need the reps, like at least like 3, so that you can understand the end-to-end process, and then you can like look at it and be like, okay, I can do something about it, and I can automate this part and that. Because once you do that long enough, you know which parts take time and are like time consuming, and you know like technically, okay, I think I can do something about this. But again, that's a process that takes time. And I don't think, from my experience, most people want to do that, because it takes time for you to actually sit down and look at your entire process and try to optimize it. Because I feel like most people just are so into the 101 thing that they feel like they have no time to do this kind of stuff. Like, I'm delivering work, like I'm creating things, like, you know, developing like the reports or whatever. And they're like, I don't have time for that, because all my time is to actually create the thing for the customer. I don't have time to like sit down and reverse engineer the entire process. And I'm like, find the time. I did find the time, so everyone can do it. I'm in a very particular situation. I know everyone's situation is different, but you can always, if you make it a priority, you can always find the time.
Find the time. Full stop. Do you know Sahel Bloom?
Yes, but I don't follow him very much, to be honest.
One of his bestsellers, I might be butchering the name here, but it's basically the 5 types of wealth. And he wrote something on Substack recently about something he wished he learnt sooner in his career. And it was that action precedes clarity. And that so many smart people, they never achieve anything because they're so in their head, and they never take the step to take the action. Yeah. So what I want to double tap on now is that moment when you landed in Bangkok. You're
Okay.
after quitting the job at Microsoft. It's now time to take action. How did you figure out what your service, what your product was even going to be, and then actually went about getting your first customer?
So I didn't know what I was doing at the time. um, I knew I had the skill set, right? That was valuable. And I was lucky enough that because of the Microsoft stuff that I was doing before, I had kind of a brand already before. So that helped, obviously.
From the blog.
Yes, the vlog. And then I started posting on LinkedIn too. So I kind of had a brand already. I was
Okay.
not starting
Yeah,
from
yeah.
complete, like bottom, like zero. And I didn't know exactly what my product was going to look like. I was like, I'm just going to do the 101 because I'm just going to sell my skills the way I knew at the time, which was tell me what you need to get done and I'll do it. It was very easy, like in
Yeah,
a way.
yeah.
It's like I'll just start like that. I'm just going to like go around and see what needs to be done and I'll do it.
Literally ask people, what do you need help with?
Yeah, actually, like it was like that, but I had a lot of people coming to me. So I was lucky enough because again of the brand that I built with the blog and LinkedIn, I had like people coming to me already. So it wasn't again completely cold, like outreach in a way. People were like liking my posts and they were already sending messages saying, "Oh, can you help me with this and that?" But I was always saying no because I didn't have time for it. So it was kind of easy because I had all that work that I accidentally done before.
And that's the thing, you didn't have to do that.
Not really,
No,
not much.
no.
No. I just kept because I saw like how important it was to create a brand because I never wanted to do like outreach. So I was like, I want people to come to me. So I focused on, I will keep doing this LinkedIn thing and the blog thing at the time. I think I gave up at the blog and started doing YouTube or something like that. But I understood very quickly the importance of having a personal brand because it's very different for you to try to sell something to someone who never heard your name before or try to sell something to someone that liked your post and even said, can you help me with this? And it might be a little thing, like that takes no time, but they're already warm in a way because they already know you from your content and stuff. So I found out like how important that is, and I really focused on that, on keeping that going. I never stopped like trying to like build my personal brand. And yeah, the way I started, like the product, there was no product. It was consulting. And it got to a point, though, that's how I started when I was in Bangkok, and I've been to many places after that. But especially because of the time zones, it's a problem. You probably have this kind of problem, or I had it before. And I found that working 101 was kind of messing up my schedule too much. Because at the time I was new to traveling, okay? I was like, this was all new and I wanted to enjoy the place I was in. It's not like now. Now I don't care anymore. But 3 years ago, I really wanted like to travel and like sightseeing and all of that. And with the work that I was doing like calls at 2 a.m. to the US, and I was like, this is not going to work long term. So I was like, okay, what can I do? Something that does not depend on my time and that I can just run with it and travel without me having to be there all the time. So I was like, okay, I think I'm going to create an online course. And I had this idea, but I thought about it like for some time, but I never actually acted upon it. I don't know why, because I fell in the same trap as everyone. Oh, but I'm doing all this costume work and like for costumers and I don't have time for this. But once like the gap was there, I was like, okay, I'm going to create an online course. And
you needed the pain again, though.
Yeah.
From the 2 a.m. calls.
Yes, exactly. The pain needs to be there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't move. And the pain was not big enough in the beginning, but it got to a point where I was like, I can't do this. So I started creating online courses, like for tech people, basically teaching people how to create reports, beautiful reports. And it worked very well. I was not expecting it, to be honest, at the time. I thought I was going to make like $5,000. And I made like a lot more than that. And And I saw an opportunity there, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to do courses. So I jumped all over. Like I tried to do a little bit of everything. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do more courses, but I think I can do more things like this that I just do once, and then I just put it there. And with the stuff that I'm doing in terms of personal branding, people will just come to me. You know, I don't have to like do a lot of outreach because they know me. Like I post on LinkedIn. I have like at the time the YouTube channel, so they would just buy the course from those channels. You know, they would see me and they would buy it. So I created another online course, and then a third one. And then I started creating like templates and things. I was trying to do all these things.
Yeah.
And at some point I was like, nah, but I want to go back to consulting. I think I didn't explore that. So I was all over the place. So to answer your question, in the beginning, I started as everyone, but I tried a bunch of different things depending on where I was, what my pain was at the time. I was like kind of trying different things and jumping around a lot, until today.
So that second business, or no, that first business,
Yes.
that went really well in the grand scheme of things.
Yes, you're going to ask me why did I drop it? No, everyone asks that.
You left the corporate life, you climbed the mountain, you had the next chapter of success ticked off the box, and you decided, no, something's not right here.
Yes, because like I said, I'm like, if I have an itch, I cannot live with that itch for very long.
What was the itch this time?
I felt I was like, this reporting thing that I was doing, I've done it for years now.
Yeah.
And I was just getting tired of talking about the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Boxed yourself in.
Yeah. I felt very like boxed in that like tech world, and like I always talk about tech. I'm always very technical, and I wanted to get out of that box a little bit. And honestly, like a few other things happened. Like they changed the product, but I'm not going to go into that. That also didn't help. But it was more like, I want to get out of I want to see what else is out there. I don't want to be like in this tech world forever. I had an itch, you know, like I was like, well, what's out there? You know, like, and in my brain, I was like, okay, I already proved that I can do one-on-one consulting. I already proved that I can do online courses. I already proved that I can sell digital products. I already proved that I can go back and look at the consulting and do a package service and improve it and like automate it. I proved all these things. And yes, most sane people would just keep doing it and scaling it. And I was like, no, but I want to do this, but in another area. I know I can do it. In my brain, I was like, I know I can do it. So I can just try a different thing, because I was, like you said, I was feeling like I was in this box, and I was getting like so burned out from like talking about tech all the time. And I found like, because I did all these different things. Imagine like doing online courses and then selling digital products and then selling one-on-one. And then now I'm selling a package service. I had to learn so many different things, like marketing, sales, like project management. And I found all those things so much more interesting than like, here is how you do like, I don't know, whatever in terms of like technical, like reporting. I was like, oh, that's so boring. Like, it's so much nicer to be like, okay, I'm going to launch a course. How am I going to do this? I need to read books. I need to watch podcasts. I need to go to YouTube and find out how to do this. And it was such an interesting problem for me.
It sounds like you were missing that challenge.
Yes, because I was very experienced in what I was doing technically already. I did it for like 8 years. It was my bread and butter. I was tired of doing it. And I felt a little bit lost at the time, because I knew I didn't want to stay in the tech world, but I didn't know exactly what the other thing would look like, because I was like, I don't know, but I don't want to stay here, but where do I go from there? I didn't know exactly. So I went to LinkedIn and threw stuff at the wall and saw what sticks. That's literally what I did. But I knew I wanted to do more like the business side of things, you know, like that I knew. I like marketing, I like sales, I like coming up with something and like, how am I going to sell this? I love it. And I was like, I want to do that. But what the product looks exactly, I had no clue. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to sell, basically. So, like I said, I went to LinkedIn. I was like, I'm just going to use the brand that I already have and the followers and stuff that I already have and just throw things at the wall and see what sticks. But in the business side of things,
When you say throw things at the wall,
I started
what does
talking
that
about
look like?
I started talking about online courses. This is how I created online courses because I wanted to go more into the strategy side of
Yeah.
things and business side of things. So let me talk about how I created online courses. Then it didn't take off as well as I thought.
So not much engagement.
No, not really. And I was like, that's not it. And I loved creating online courses. It was like, I was sad. I tried for like 2 or 3 months. It was not, I could tell like people were not that interested. And I was like,
Yeah.
nah, that there is not interest in this thing. So I was like, okay, what else can I try? And then I think I tried talking about selling templates. I don't know, something like that. It didn't go down very well either. And then at some point I was like, okay, I'm going to talk about consulting. And then I started seeing more people like engaging, and I was like, you like consulting? Okay, wait.
You guys over here. Light bulb goes off.
Yeah. I was like, okay, wait. Okay, this is working. And then I started talking more about the way I basically standardize my work, like because I kind of stepped away from the hourly rates. And I started talking about that process. What I said before, like reverse engineer your entire process, look at all the steps, create. I started talking about it and people loved it. And I was like, this is the thing. This
Ding,
is the
ding.
thing. Yeah. I think I did the process was probably against everything that you told, which is first have an offer and then talk about it nonstop until people like get tired of talking, of hearing you say it, and then they will buy it. I did the exact opposite. But again, I had a brand already. I had like that privilege, so I could I didn't want to lose like all the tech brand that I had already. I thought I have to use this somehow. And for me, it didn't make sense to just come up with an offer that might not be right for that audience. It didn't make sense in my head. It was not the right approach. Like, it didn't make sense. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to talk about a bunch of random things and see what resonates more with this audience they already have. And then I created a product based on that. So I did things like in a weird way, I think, based on everything I see online. It's kind of a weird process.
When was that? When you got the light bulb? This is the home run. This is the grand slam offer on LinkedIn.
I did a bunch of tries. Still after that, I saw the roadblocks and I didn't care. I walked anyway. So I started talking about it. People were really interested. But again, this is a process that took a few months, not 2 days. But I still, obviously, I knew, okay, my offer is going to be somehow related to consulting and packaged services, but I didn't know what it was. Like, I was like, let me keep talking about it and I'll figure it out. So in the beginning, I was like, I think I had like this entire thing that I created, right? With the templates, the assets, everything, that anyone could just take that and basically create like a report. That was my thing before that, in like the technical thing, with my standard. And they could just take my package service and run with it, because they had the templates, what to do with them, like how to deal with the customer. They could just basically just take that and run a project themselves, and they would end up with a report that would look kind of very similar to the ones I do, because I reverse engineer the entire process. So I was like, I'm going to sell this. And I did. But that was the first try. But only the assets. And I think I did like for 10 people or something. But again, it was like a try. I was like just trying things out. I didn't know that was going to be the last offer or like the final one. And I think in 2 or 3 days, like all the 10 spots were gone. Everyone bought it. And I was like, okay, another validation. Okay, this is the thing. But then I had this like a Slack group or whatever it was, I don't remember, and where I was like, oh, if you have questions about it or if you have problems using this, it's part of the package, like you have the support, because I built this thing and I'm pretty sure you will need some kind of support, right? And people would keep asking me the same things, which is, oh, but it's like I give you a fish and I said, sell it. You're like, what, like, how? You know? I gave them the fish, you know, like.
You didn't teach them how to fish.
Exactly. And I
Or
was
how
like,
to sell.
exactly. And then people were like, okay, like this is brilliant, but
What do
I
do
have
with
no
it?
customers.
Where's the traffic?
Exactly. I have no customers. Like I don't know how to sell it. Like how do I attract? Like the main question was, how do I actually sell this? Because it was literally like I gave them the fish, but now they have a fish and they're like, okay, well, where do I go? Like I don't know. And I was like, that I can also teach. So that was now is my current offer. So I give you the fish, but I give you all the strategy behind the fish and how to sell it. My strategy on selling it, like at the time, like when I was doing it. That is the offer now. But again, I think offers like they evolve. You don't start with one thing. I never started with one thing and that was the final thing and it stayed like that forever. No, I try things out. I start with this. I don't know. I didn't even know if it was going to be a good offer. I just tried it out, you know. And then with the feedback, you improve and you add things on top of it and you make it better. And that's how I think about things. It's like offers are not this like static thing. It's you can try things. You can flirt with them.
You can date.
Yeah, you can date multiple offers, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for that new business, Mara Pereira Digital,
Yeah.
when did you start? How long have you been doing it for? And I'm aware you had a really big launch
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
We can definitely talk about that too.
Yeah. So I started, this was all like, I started kind of trying to pivot from the tech world in May last year.
May last year.
It takes some time. Like
That was the pivot from
the
start of
Remember,
the pivot.
right? I was throwing things at the wall
Okay.
like for 3 months, seeing what stick. Like it took months to actually come up like this is the thing. In May, I started like talking about more like strategy and business like things mainly on LinkedIn. That's my main channel. And then after like I think it was like in August or something. I think it was July or it was in the summer. I don't remember the exact month. That's when I realized, okay, I think I can sell the fish because I started talking about the fish.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this analogy now. And people love the fish and they wanted the fish. And I was like, okay, let me go eat the fish. And this was like August. But then again, that the whole thing happened that people were like, okay, but now how do I actually sell the damn fish? And I was like, okay, I can do better than this. Then I know how you can sell the fish, so I can tell you how to do it.
I've sold the fish.
Yeah, I've sold the fish. I can tell you how to do it. So from, I think, it was around September that I decided that, okay, I'm going to create this new program that I have now.
Okay, September.
Yeah.
And then your first official launch?
December. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So the launch, going back in the timeline, September was when I came up with the idea. And when I come up with ideas, my approach is I'm just going to talk about this and see how it goes. And again, but I kind of had the idea validated from before, but I'm like, let me just do this. I like validating things. It's my obsession. And then when I saw that, people are really interested in this, I think in October, November, I started like a month later, I started like planning how to actually create something like that. You know, like, but just I call it the skeleton. I don't.
Yeah, spine.
Yeah, the spine, the skeleton. I don't usually create my stuff before I sell it. And
that's the best way.
I know, but it's
a bit counterintuitive.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't feel right, but it is.
Yeah. So everything I did from like, I think end of September to like the end of November, so it was 2 months, I was basically planning the launch. I didn't have anything.
Okay.
Nothing.
Planning the launch. So when we're saying launch, we're talking about building hype online.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was my main focus. Like I was not focused on building the thing.
let's leave some breadcrumbs
Yes.
over the next 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So your audience is nice and warmed up. When you launch this product that goes live, everybody jumps on it.
Yes, yeah. And I was warming them up for like 2 months, and also like in behind the scenes again, planning the spine of how the program would look like. But it's still like very simple spine. And when I actually like announced it, not launched, but announced, okay, I'm doing this thing. That was like end of November.
End of
Or
November.
beginning of December. It was
Okay.
beginning of December that I announced that, okay, I'm doing this thing.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't shut up about it for 2 months before. But I didn't say like, I'm doing this thing. I would just talk about it, but not mention that there is a program like
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I'm going to teach this kind of stuff that I'm like mentioning in my content. And in December, I basically started announcing, okay, this program like is going to exist, and this is what I'm like going to do. But again, I had a spine, like a very simple one. And then I set up a wait list because
Nice.
I love validation. I'm like,
Yes.
I feel I have validation, but I'm like, I have like 5 levels.
We gotta triple check this
yeah,
thing.
yeah. I triple check it before I even sell anything.
Yeah.
And then I did a wait list that I think the wait list maybe a little bit before even, but December, I think, yeah, maybe. I don't remember the timelines exactly, but it was all like in the last 2 months of the year, or the last few weeks. I set up a wait list, and then I was like, when I get 100 people, I'm going to start selling it. I don't care like if I only have like a very skeleton, like I don't care, like I'm just going to sell it because I have the validation.
Yeah.
And I think after like 2 weeks, I already had 100 people, or even less than that. I think it was really quickly. And then I was like, okay, now I can sell it. But again, I didn't have the thing. It was a skeleton.
The thing is not real yet.
No, it's not. It's
But
not real
selling,
yet.
We're selling a fish.
Yeah, we are selling a fish and saying this is going to be the fish, okay? But where is it? It's still a baby. It's not there yet,
Hasn't
okay?
grown yet, yeah.
I'm going to sell you a shark, but the only thing I have is a sardine again right now. But how? It's going to grow, okay? It's going to grow and it's going to turn into a shark. So I started selling it, and this is the part that people probably think I'm a little bit crazy, because the validation is, I have this like all this validation steps that I always do for anything. So I have the wait list, like 100 people, that's kind of my number. And then the selling, I need 10 people. And
10 people to buy
yeah,
before you start building out this skeleton.
yes.
Okay. That's
Because-
like the penny drop with the urgency.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, once I had 10 people, I will start working on it. Not before that. I mean, I was working on the strategy, like I was working on the skeleton, but not like actually building the thing. And I think I also got 10 people like in like 1 or 2 weeks, something like that. It was kind of quick. I think I actually got 8 or something before the end of the year, but a little bit before the end of the year. And I was like, okay, I didn't get the 10, but 8 was enough. I was like, I mean, yeah, okay, 8, it's not the 10 that I usually do, but I'm like, 8 is enough, because this was a higher ticket kind of thing. So I was like, you don't need 10. Sorry, you need like a little bit less people. It's fine. You won't die. So what I did was, now that I have like these sales, I'm going to use the money from the sales that I made to make the best shit ever. So I was like, I'm going to go to a podcast studio and do like recordings.
Nice.
And I'm going like to do like the best thing ever, like, and because I already had the money on my side,
Yeah.
I was not waiting for people to buy, I already had the validation that I
You
wanted.
had the 100 people that.
Yeah. And
signed
then
up.
the 10 people that bought it, I had the budget basically, because those 10 people already bought, and I could use the budget of the program itself to create the best shit ever. And that's exactly what I did. I was like, and I'm still doing, because it's not done even though it's launched already. And yeah, that was my kind of process at the time.
And how many people have you signed up since then?
28, which is not a lot, but again, it's my goal was 25, because again, I'm before that I would sell like what you call probably high ticket offer, but it was consulting. It wasn't like like a cohort kind of thing. And I also sold low ticket, which is the online courses, like $200, $300, that kind of thing. But I never actually sold like cohort high ticket kind of thing. So I knew like it was the first time.
Yeah.
And I didn't want a lot of people. That was on purpose.
Yeah.
Like I don't, because I really want to make this the best thing ever. And I cannot have a lot of people, otherwise it will be impossible to manage this and to guarantee that they get the results that they want and that I want them to get. So my goal was like 2025. And then at the end, I got now 28. It was 26, but then 2 people came to me like the next day saying, "Oh my God, I forgot you. I saw your email, but I forgot." And I let them sign up. So in the end, it was 28. But yeah, now it's been 2 weeks since the launch.
Yeah.
So it's still an ongoing thing. It's 12 weeks. And I still haven't created the entire thing.
So just to underscore and double tap on this story. So 28 signups, high ticket. We're talking more amount of revenue in 2 months that you would have made in Microsoft in maybe a year.
Almost, yeah. Not, I think if I do another, which I'm planning to, if I do another cohort, which is going to happen in May, hopefully. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Right now I'm very close because I was in 6 figures at Microsoft and now I was like basically like almost the same, but still not there yet. I'm like, next time. Yeah.
The banner is definitely on point.
Yeah.
You are worth more than your salary.
Yeah, but I think this year, that's my plan. Like this year, I will definitely like go way past my salary. I mean, we are in what day is it? I don't know. It's January. I don't know, end of January. And I already made all that. So for me, it's like, it's obvious that I'm going to make a lot more. It's not even a question in my brain. It's just, how much?
Do you think Mara back a few years ago in Microsoft even realized that was possible? What kind of reaction would she have to hear this news right now?
I'm very hard on myself, so that's a hard question.
Because a lot of people in corporate right now, they can't even get their head around the opportunity.
Yeah.
To create this kind of wealth.
Back in the day, I thought that this is going to sound weird, but wait for it. I thought it was going to be harder. I'm not saying it's not hard. It's different things, okay? It's still hard, but I thought it was going to be harder in a way. And I think that I don't find it like that hard, like or the level of hard that I had in my head, because I enjoy it way more than a job.
Okay.
So I think that helps. Okay. So, like when you're doing something that you actually enjoy, even hard things are fun. Mm-hmm. And now
it's rewarding.
Yes, because I think like I didn't see that, like that. Yes, it's going to be hard, but like you said, it's going to be more rewarding. And the problems that I have, even though they are hard, they are fun. It's fun problems to have, which kind of makes it easier. It's a hard concept to grasp. But yeah, again, I'm not saying to anyone, it's definitely not easy. Having a full-time job, it's a lot easier. But the fact that I find it so fun to solve this kind of problem that I have now makes it easier. Because before, in a full-time job, I would work way past 5 p.m. I wanted to climb the corporate ladder, so I would do it. But like you said, it was not that rewarding because you were doing it for what? 3% raise at the end of the year, And it's like, if you feel like you're constantly solving the same problems. Mm-hmm. It's just a different brand again behind it. That's it. Like a different team, a different manager, but it was just boring in a way at some point. And for me, that's harder. Like doing a thing that I find boring and it's just like, why am I even doing this? It's harder than doing something considered hard, but that I like and have fun doing it.
Choose your hard.
Yeah, exactly. Choose your heart. And mine is definitely like having my own thing, hard. Yeah.
Love it. What is the mission for the future? This next 6-12 months, what is that North Star that you're chasing?
I don't want to attach this to money, but I will. But
Love the honesty.
Obviously, I want to help people. Otherwise, I would just,
Well,
like...
we're not like Mother Teresa out here.
Yeah. Obviously, I have like my whole point with all of like the program that I built is obviously to help people. And otherwise, I would just take the money from the 10 people and like record it on my phone, not hire people to like do the community management and do this and try to make it the best shit ever. If I was not worried about like actually getting people results, I wouldn't do any of that, right? I would just try to do the bare minimum and that's it.
Yeah.
So my goal now obviously is that I really want to make people have the results that I want them to have. And I want to help as many people as possible that feel like Mara, like 3 years ago, that is like, I'm either like stuck at this job, I wasn't necessarily stuck, but I was like, it's more like people that feel like I'm too smart for my salary. That's people that I want to help. I want to help those people and be like, yeah, you are. And I can help you.
Ambitious but stuck.
Yes. I want people that think I know I have the skills and I have the will to like do more, but I don't even know where to start. And I need someone to kind of offer me some guidance, like I want to help those people and as many people as possible, even though this year I'm not planning to like do the whole like big scaling thing. However, talking about the money, I didn't forget that. My goal now is to get to 1 million this year, which is very ambitious probably.
Love it.
I don't know how I'm going to get there exactly. I have a plan in my head. But that's my goal. But I want to say, and I got to this brilliant realization the other day, it's not about the money. If you knew me, I don't really care about most material things. If you give me 1 million, I would probably just keep living my life exactly the way I'm doing now. I wouldn't like spend more money just because I had more money. I might spend it, but it's not the proportion, it's not to the proportion that I make the money. I usually like, my quality of life is better now than it was 3 years ago, but it's not like that, for the money that I make now compared to then, it didn't grow like in the same extent. I'm making way more money, but my quality of life is not way more expensive. It's just a little bit more. It's a little bit more expensive than 2 or 3 years ago, but not like a massive difference. So again, it's not about the money, because even if I had that money, I don't think I would like live like I have $1 million, like buy a Ferrari or something like that. It's probably not the best motivation, but it is a motivation. And for me now, that's all that matters. I want to prove to myself that I can do it. That's my main thing. It's not about, like buying a house or a Ferrari or I don't know, the expensive bags. I don't know, something like, it's not about that. I don't care about any of that. Because in my brain, I'm going to be very honest, in my brain, if I can make $1 million in a year, damn, I have to be smart. Otherwise, I would never be able to do it. It's a weird validation, but I'm not scared of saying it. Or I'm not like, ashamed of saying it. Yes, I kind of seek the validation and it is what it is. It's just to prove a point to myself. It's not even to other people. It's to myself.
Why?
Which is weird.
Why is that important?
I think I have like, I don't know. I mean, I know, but at the same time, I don't. When I had people, again, I'm not doing this to prove those people. It's like to prove myself. I don't care about them at all. But I had people like telling me like, the usual, you're lucky. I had someone saying, you have a, did they say, survivor syndrome, something like that. And I was
Wow.
like, what is that? And like, oh, you did something and you were successful, and now you think you know what you're doing. And I'm like, I mean, I know more than you, because you've never done it, obviously. So I mean, I think I know a little bit more than you, at least. And I had all those things, and I also come from a place. When I was a kid, I grew up in a very, very small village in Portugal. We didn't have public transport, nothing. I was stuck there for 18 years of my life, basically. My parents were not rich. They were like farmers, basically. And all of this together, like I always envisioned like this bigger life for me, but not about the money again. It's more like a bigger thing, like more responsibility, like, I don't know, something. And all these people that like throughout the years, basically like kind of reinforced this idea that I was just lucky. I don't want to prove them wrong, but the problem is, I think because of that, I came from this very small place where if you saw it, you would be like, there is no way you came from there. Like, how? How did this happen? How are you in Bali? How are you like making 6 figures in 1 month? No, it's not, doesn't happen. It's by default, because I grew up there and was born there, like in a farm, you're kind of limited by default. Because, I mean, people expect you to just stay in the village forever. Most of my, like, not high school, but, like school friends, they just stay there. They never left. So I'm the exception already. So because of all of that, I just want to prove that the idea that people, like, have that I should, like, stay there and that I'm just lucky is wrong. Because I think deep down, I feel like maybe they're right. Oh, maybe they're right. And I want to prove not them, because I don't care about them. It's more like me. I think I kind of think that I am indeed lucky. And I want to prove to myself that I'm not just lucky. I know what I'm doing.
That's a great mission to be on. Don't prove them wrong. Prove you right.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, I know all of this came from other people, and I don't know,
it's good, like, fuel at the start.
Yeah.
But it's not sustainable fuel.
Maybe not. Yeah, like everyone asks me, like especially my friends, so what happens when you get to 1 million? I'm like, I don't know, it's not a problem yet. Okay. That's a problem future Mara will deal with. Okay, now
that's a whole different roadblock.
Yeah, that's a different thing. Okay, I don't like, even though I do this a lot, I don't like worrying about problems like that are not a problem for current, like present Mara, you know.
Well, yeah, that's why we're here. Like, why would you not take a big swing?
Exactly. Like, I just want to get there. And then I was like, oh, but I have a very good friend, and she's like, you know, I know you, and you're never satisfied with anything. Like, you're like always like more. And it was like, and that is not, again, you don't want the Ferrari. I don't even see the reason why you do it, you know, because that is nothing, like, you know, for you to do it. There is no like reason for you to keep doing that over and over again. I'm like, I find like, I think it's fun because I always have something to look forward to. And then I'm like, oh, but what happens when you get there? I mean, it happened at Microsoft. I found something else.
Yeah.
And it keeps me motivated, you know, because I always have this thing. And I think a lot of people say like, oh, you shouldn't be that, you know, they might make it sound online like that is bad, that you're never satisfied, that you always want more. And I have a very controversial opinion about it.
Let me hear it.
Because it's like, why is it bad? Because at least for me, like from where I'm standing, it's not bad in the sense, I don't feel bad. Like, you know, it doesn't make me unhappy. Like, quite the opposite, because I always have one thing to strive for. And they're like, oh, but it's like a carrot in the, you know, like the donkey, whatever the thing is. And you always just like making a different carrot like in front of you, and you're just chasing the carrot. I'm like, yeah, but I'm chasing a carrot at least. You know, I'm not just, you know, like in the middle of the field looking around and like, but the field is beautiful. I'm like, but I like chasing the carrot. I don't want to stop and look at the field. Like, a lot of people like that, but I don't. You know, like I don't find pleasure in like just being still, you know, like, so this is why I'm saying it's probably kind of controversial, because it's like, oh, you should be content, you know, and be happy with what you have. And I'm like, but if I try to do that, I'm not happy, because it's not my thing. It's not how I work. So why would I go that road if I tried before and it just, I'm bored. And it's like, oh, but you have to learn to not be bored. And I was like, but why am I doing all this work if I like the carrot? It doesn't make sense in my head. Like, the moment I stop liking the carrot,
then I'll think about it. Yeah.
Exactly. Then I'll think about, okay, like, just ignore the carrot and let's look at the field for a minute. But I'm not there yet.
That's a different chapter of life.
Yeah. And I'm not there. Maybe I will be at some point, but I'm just not there yet. And I feel like I'm going really deep into this, because I feel like I felt it before when I see that kind of content. I think if you're like a bit of like me, you feel bad, because it makes you feel like, oh, you should stop and you should be like happy, like with doing like just, you know, like this thing, and not try to strive to do more things. And it makes you really feel like bad in a way, because you feel like you're not functioning like the way you should, you know? Because everyone tells you should be content, you should be happy with what you have. And I was like, but I'm not. So what do you do about it? You know?
Let me be me.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, but I understand that some people like to like sit in the field and look around. But I think that is this thing that is these two very different groups of people. And they kind of almost attack each other, you know, like, because the carrot people, they're like, no, you should go for the carrot, and the carrot is the thing. And, you know, Cody Sanchez, Alex Hermosi, go after the carrot. And then you have this other group of people that are like, no, but stop and look at the field, because the field is beautiful. And they don't understand each other. And
they're different personality types.
Exactly. And
so there's no point of copying someone. You need to find out what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And just stick to that.
Yeah. And also, there are different phases in life. I'm not saying, again, I'm going after the carrot like forever. It depends on where you are. And there are moments in life you're in the carrot group. There are other moments in life where you're in the look at the field group. It's or look at the mountains, whatever. It's just different groups of people. And I feel like there is all this thing online. I was like, just be happy. Like, if you like to like sit and look at the stars, just sit and look at the stars. It's fine. If the other people like to like go around and run around all the time, let them run around all the time. It's fine. It's like, it's two different people.
I love it. Where can people check you out, Mara?
LinkedIn.
Where's the best place?
Yeah, I'm not an Instagram person, but it's in my plans for like
scaling.
Yeah. And I'm also going back to YouTube at some point. You
have a pretty big YouTube, like 30K, is it?
Yeah, and I didn't post a lot. So that's why people tell me, oh, you really are good at it. And I'm like, yeah, guys, yeah, I heard that before. It was a lot of work. So I just gave up on it. But yeah, now I'm mostly like LinkedIn is my thing. And hopefully at some point in the future, YouTube and Instagram. This year, like, give it a few months. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. Really enjoyed the chat.
Thank you. Me too.